In his first year as head coach of the Fighting Irish, Charlie Weis restored the glory to Notre Dame. The quarterback guru brought his wizardry to South Bend, and junior quarterback Brady Quinn responded in kind. Under the watchful eye of his head coach, Quinn shredded the Irish record books in 2005, leading an aerial assault that had never before been seen at Notre Dame. Today, he serves as the trigger man for an electrifying offensive attack that includes big play wide receiver Samardja. But awaiting the Irish in the Tempe Desert is the most aggressive defensive unit they've seen all season. The big bad Buckeyes of Ohio State come armed with a ferocious group of playmakers who thrive on speed and toughness. Two qualities embodied by their emotional leader, senior linebacker A.J. Hawk. So it is offense versus defense as two of college football's all-time titans clash under the desert sky. The Tostitos Fiesta Bowl is next on ABC. It's a fast track, ladies and gentlemen. Temperature is in the 70s. We could have a good old-fashioned high-scoring shootout at the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. The Ohio State Buckeyes 9-2. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish 9-2 meet in this, the first of 4 BCS games. All will be broadcast in HD, presented by DLP Picture Technology. So, let me turn you loose on the two quarterbacks. Compare them for our audience. Not everybody's seen Troy Smith and Brady Quinn.
Well, let's start, Brent, with Brady Quinn. From the first half against Pittsburgh and to the last drive against Stanford, no one has thrown the ball better than Brady Quinn. He has won football games. He is unquestioned leader in the best passing game in college football. But in the second half of this football season, Troy Smith has broken out. You'd be surprised to know he's the 6th-rated passer in college football, and he beats you in a lot of different ways. Ohio State has ridden Troy Smith, and he can beat you with his arm and his legs.
And Gary, we will see Quinn with the first series of the game as the Buckeyes won the toss and they deferred. Officiating crew is from the SEC, a good one, Josh Houston, who has kicked it in and out of the end zone all season long with the ball on the 35 and along the ground. It is fielded at the 18-yard line by an upback, and the Irish will start at about the 28-yard line. There's Brady Quinn over with the guru, Charlie Weis. And so he comes out, and folks, notice 32 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. What about defending Quinn here today, Gary?
Well, remember, you're defending Quinn and Charlie Weis. You must mix up your fronts and your coverages. If Brady Quinn knows where you are, Charlie Weis will know where you are, and he will pick you apart. A lot of movement for Ohio State.
Schlegel backs out of the line. And on first down, Quinn going deep's got Samardja open, and he couldn't hang on at the 24-yard line. Almost made a fingertip catch for the Irish on the first play of the game. Don't be surprised if Weis goes deep again.
Well, this is always part of the game plan for Notre Dame. They love to throw the post pattern, and all year Jeff Samardja has made that catch. Ohio State just watched a guy run right by him, and it was their best cover corner, Ashton Yabodi, who watched the big guy, supposedly the possession receiver, run right by him.
Weis scripts the first 15 plays, but he'll break out of it if he sees something else. Samardja on the flanker screen, run out of bounds on the near side at about the 35-yard line by Dante Whitner, the strong safety. So our Tostitos starting lineups on this beautiful day here in Tempe. Stovall, Schwab, the fullback, Walker, underrated running back, Fasano, very talented tight end, Samardja we've already seen. Key in on John Sullivan, folks, number 78. When he anchors the middle of this experienced offensive line, there are 3 seniors, and one of them, Dan Santucci, does have another year of eligibility if he wants to come back. But Sullivan leads it up. He'll call the line blocking, and Michigan State exploited the middle against the Irish, but they've been much stouter with number 78 holding court there. You can see they spread the field with 4 wide. There's the fake, and here comes Walker. So it'll be a first down for the Irish. Whitner again making the stop. And this defense will be under fire today, one of the best in the country. Patterson, Green, Pitcock, and Kudla, Mike Kudla. Now the linebackers, here's the story. James Laurinaitis starts in place of the injured Bobby Carpenter. Schlegel and A.J. Hawk, 51 and 47, the other two. Yabodi, Sally, Whitner, and Tyler Everett, and they are going to be under fire from the Weis attack. You NFL fans who happen to be watching college football today on this holiday, you'll recognize the plays from the New England playbook. Draw play. Walker breaks the first tackle. I mentioned, Gary, that he's underrated. Let's talk about Walker. Does not have that breakout speed. Not Reggie Bush. He's not going to take a play like that to the house, but he's going to pound away, and a terrific receiver.
Well, that's the beauty of the running back in this offense. Darius Walker is a scorer. He broke the high school record in Georgia of Herschel Walker as a touchdown scorer in high school. Was, by the way, recruited by both teams, but he makes guys miss, just like Tyler Everett. Unblocked, came on a safety blitz. He makes guys miss, and that's why he's so valuable in this offense.
Well, we talked to Notre Dame quarterback Brady Quinn about reading defenses for Charlie Weis.
I think I'm at the point now where I'm recognizing many different defenses, coverages, things that defenses are trying to do. That helps you kind of get through your progression quicker. Having 5 guys to look at on every play can be tough. And although some plays, you have to go through the entire progression, but others, you can cross a few guys off just based off coverage.
And his running back picked up the first down, so 2 carries and 19 yards for Walker.
Tight end split very wide. That's a different formation for Notre Dame, way down.
Great job by the offensive line. Stovall at the 20-yard line. And let's talk about how tall these receivers are. Both of them 6'5", Gary.
You bet. But when they're that wide open, they can be 5'6". Exploiting this defense is what Charlie Weis likes to do. But Brent, right down here is where they like to go to the tall receivers. They like to throw the fade, and you can see Samardja, Stovall, and the tight end all have that height advantage.
Just on the edge of the red zone, just outside the 20. And now they're in the red zone, and Walker could score. Touchdown! 21-yard burst. And Darius Walker stuns the Buckeyes' run defense. The best in the country at stopping the run. And Charlie Weis, the pass master, spreads the field and runs it against the Buckeyes, who are without number 42.
One of those formations where they now have the fullback Schwab in the game. They've spread out tight ends. Look at, they got a body on A.J. Hawk. Dan Stevenson blocked Hawk, and that sprung Walker.
Fitzpatrick back handling the kicking. The Fighting Irish of Notre Dame strike first. Hang on, everybody. We're in for a high-scoring afternoon here at the Fiesta Bowl. Trust me, the Buckeyes and Troy Smith are going to move the ball.
Well, let's look at the play behind the play here. This time it was Dan Stevenson, number there, 74, getting to A.J. Hawk. Watch how he rubs off, make sure the tight end, the defensive end doesn't come in, and then picks off number 47. That is the game plan. Put a body on number 47, and that sprung him.
427 points, a Notre Dame record. The Charlie Weis offense comes to college. What a story is. Never played college football. Graduated from Notre Dame. Short, and here comes one of the return twins. They're going to run a reverse. Fake it. And it was Santonio Holmes as Gonzalez gave him the reverse look, and Holmes kept it. Now Troy Smith, who we think is one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the country. Folks, look at this. 14 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 300 yards against Michigan. Gary, he has improved dramatically.
Yeah, he is a tough football player, and the Notre Dame defense and Rick Minner, the defensive coordinator, will try to spy. I think Michigan made a mistake in keeping their spy guy too deep. They need to move him up and crowd the line of scrimmage if they spy, because if there's any space, Troy Smith will beat you.
Antonio Pittman, 1,000-yard rusher, starts off the game. Left side is jammed. Could not move, and Maurice Crum, whose daddy played for the Miami Hurricanes, our Tostitos lineup. You can see Ted Ginn Jr., many of you know about him. Santonio Holmes, a junior, but he could be opting for the NFL after this game. There's that offensive line, and we will see Alex Boone up there, folks, as a third tackle. Doug Daddish will line up as a tight end in their jumbo formation. He's not an eligible receiver because of the number 50. Now they bring Nick Mangold as the ringleader coming up to the line of scrimmage. Fake to Pittman, downfield, overthrew Ginn with his first pass of the game. And now defensively for Notre Dame, and here is the big question mark about the Fighting Irish. Can this defensive front hold up? The Buckeye coach is very impressed with number 66 and number 95. Evie Omri and Landry. The linebackers, Hoyt Mays and Maurice Crum, who's already made a stop. And then the secondary. Can they hold up against Ginn, Holmes, and Gonzalez? Tom Zivakowski, a tough youngster from Arlington Heights, a former Golden Gloves boxer. He can hammer you. But nickel backfield, Troy Smith from the gun. He's an outstanding runner. He's got the first down.
Ohio State already behind, obviously, 7-0, but let's look what they want to do. They will spread the ball for speed. They will get wide formations, 3 wide receivers, and then they feel their wide receivers and speed along with Troy Smith will make a difference. The Notre Dame defense makes turnovers. They make plays. They are not a knockout defense. They're very good on third down. They must find a way to get off the field one way or another.
Offensive line gives Troy plenty of time. Goes deep, Ginn's wide open, folks. Touchdown. Here we go. Get out the adding machine. We're underway. 56 yards, and Ted Ginn Jr., the speedster, just blew past the secondary.
Ambrose Wooden peeked into the backfield. He thought it was going to go to Santonio Holmes, and then all of a sudden the high school teammate from Glenville High School in Cleveland, quarterback to receiver, puts 7 points on the board.
Josh Houston, the extra point. The punter, A.J. Trapasso, is the home. Ohio State and the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame are deadlocked at 7. We played less than 5 minutes, and both teams have struck. Notre Dame driving for a score. The Buckeyes go the long way. You got some great climbing around here, and of course the national championship game coming up in a couple of days, the Rose Bowl, USC and Texas, and both of these teams have been in the arena with those two. This one will come out on the 20. Another good job by the offensive line, but Samardja was well covered by number 9, Whitner.
Whitner is the film study guy for Ohio State. If you know about gym rats, Dante Whitner is a film room rat. He studies, he does his job, he anticipates. One of the best safeties in college football, Dante Whitner. Not a lot of people talk about him, but all Big Ten safety, and he is always in the right spot.
Our first punt, and the Speed Demons, the twin return men for the Buckeyes, are back. Holmes and Ginn has touched it once for that touchdown. This will be Holmes at the 10-yard line with a fair catch. DJ Fitzpatrick with a fine punt. We'll take a break. Tied at 7 at the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. So there is the sister of the Notre Dame quarterback, Brady Quinn, and the girlfriend of the All-American linebacker. There's the brother. And yes, the three of them have been together, having a little conversation, a little good-natured kidding. But for Irish players, it's off limits to talk to Quinn about it at all. And Smith's in trouble. Shakes, fumble. put it down. Should have taken the sack. The Irish recover on the turnover. Inside the 15-yard line, Ronald Talley recovers the fumble and gives Charlie Weis and the Irish an opportunity to score again.
Victor Abiomiri, number 95, blocked by 2 players that time. Troy Smith tries to shake him off, but he keeps fighting through, makes the play, and Talley ends up with it. Troy Smith so aggressive, trying to fight his way through that thing, and then it was popped out. Landed
Corey
up on
Mays.
the ground. Corey Mays, was it 46? Corey Mays.
Corey Mays.
Got his left hand on it, and that's what caused the fumble.
Yeah, he caused it, and Talley recovered. So here we go now. Let's see what Weis comes up with inside the 15-yard line. Got the tall receivers if he wants to go to the fade. Remember, the big tight ends. And it's the draw play. Walker, who scored before, he surprises him. He's to the 7-yard line. Tyler Everett with the stop. This is the best blocking, Gary, that we have seen against the Ohio State defensive front all year long.
Well, and I think there's a reason for it. They have to spread out. They're really worried about the passing game, and they now get hit with those draw play and screen play game. Charlie Weis and the Notre Dame offense gives you a little bit of everything. You never get comfortable as you get anywhere on the field as they enter the red zone here because of the turnover.
Toss play. Walker has Carlson, one of the blockers, and it is blown up beautifully. Ubodi, Ashton Ubodi. And you can see Carpenter trying to signal out to the defensive front how to play against this. Samardja, who's been great on the inside, is out to the left.
3 tight ends in the game.
One of them used as a blocker, and it's Walker again. And Weis, stubborn, tried to stick with the run, tried to pick up the first down and make it 1st and goal, and doesn't even seem to be looking for the field goal team at all.
Yeah, this one got crushed. Ohio State put a slant on and just beat that Notre Dame. Kudla beat Fasano inside the tight end that time, and they slanted, and now will Charlie go for it on 4th down?
He's got his go personnel out there. This is pure Bill Parcells. This is strictly Parcells. You are 4th down and short. You show some arrogance, and if you leave them down there, they're going to have to go 96 yards. Empty the backfield. They're going to throw for it. Sacked at the 14-yard line by number 47, A.J. Hawk.
They went man-to-man on the outside, and Ohio State in this situation blitzes. You saw the stunt. Kudla from one side, Hawk from the middle, and you can see it man-to-man out here. I'm surprised Quinn just didn't let it go. Throw the ball, throw it up top, let your 6'5" guys get it. When you hung on to it, that is the reason. Got it.
Watching brother and boyfriend, and not much emotion. Timeout. Draw play. And a host of blue jerseys there. Talley leading the way. Talley shaken up late in the season for Notre Dame, but able to start today's game. Makes a difference with their front. The final seconds tick away. Quarter number 1. An ABC Sports presentation of the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl will continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Here's your 3rd and 9. Time for Troy. Dances to the right, can't find anybody open. Now he throws, and Ginn cut back beautifully. And it's 1st and 10. And Gary, just as you said that, it was like former high school teammates and fellas who have played together for a long time, because Ginn picks it up for 18 yards. He reads Troy moving to the right.
Now remember, Ted Ginn never played receiver in high school. He was a star defensive back and quarterback for Glenville High School. He's still learning to be a receiver, and you can see he's starting to get it. He ran a comeback earlier. Of course, he had the bomb. He could always do that. but he's starting to get the smaller, finer parts of being a wide receiver.
Maurice Wells, number 34, is the running back. He replaces Pittman. Option, here comes Ginn. Looking for a run. There was a great block on the edge. Look out. He's going to take it to the house, folks. Touchdown. Ginn's second of the afternoon. 68 yards.
Option play. Troy Smith goes to his right and then just flips it softly to Ted Ginn. Gets one block from Santonio Holmes, another one from Rob Sims. Big Dadish is out in front of him, and then he cuts back twice to finish. Prior to that touchdown, the longest run of the year for Ted Ginn, 8 yards.
Houston adds the extra point. 14-7. Buckeyes. Two terrific blocks here, Gary, on this play.
The other guy, the other receiver, the little guy, gets the linebacker, Maurice Crum. Welcome to Santonio Holmes. And then big Rob Sims just drives out the other safety. Dadish, you're not fast enough. Sorry. He's got to go right by you. He's on a different bus.
And then it was up to Ginn.
Dadish is trying as hard as he can to get out there. And Big Teddy Ginn says, gotta go faster.
Grimes and Horde are back deep. And for the first time, the Irish trail. Out of the end zone and on the 20-yard line. Matt Shelton is out to Quinn's right. Quinn identifies where Schlegel's going, and now Schlegel's going to blitz him. Quinn wants to go deep to Stovall. Hand battle incomplete. And the corner on this side, Malcolm Jenkins. How will New England do in the playoffs without Charlie Weis calling their signals? Of course, they still do have a fellow by the name of Bill Belichick over there on that sideline, and they've done very well, even without their play-calling guru. And from an empty backfield, there's Stovall. And that time, Stovall slanted in on Jenkins and made it just short, I believe, of the 45-yard line. Another first down. And now Quinn seems to be getting in more of a rhythm. Well, 6 of 12 for 70 yards here.
Or Charlie Weis. Watch this one, Brent. A perfect call. The blitz comes from the right side on block, 2 defenders, and he throws the seam against the zone blitz to the other side. That time, with the coverage that Ohio State had on, you could not have called a better pass to Maurice Stovall.
Very highly recruited out of the Philadelphia area. In fact, he was in Jim Trussel's living room. And Trussell was confident that they could convince him to come to Ohio State, but there's going to be a flag on Jenkins. He simply threw Shelton to the ground, and that'll cost him 15, I believe, right at that spot. I don't know exactly where that spot was. It'll be an automatic first down.
You're going to run slants and crossing routes if you're going to run this offense, and you can see the freshman right there, too aggressive.
Number 2 on the defense. Penalty will be enforced at the spot of the foul. Automatic first and 10.
Inside the 15-yard spot of the foul, and they'll move the chain markers. There's Jimmy Haycock, the co-defensive coordinator. Luke Fickell, the other one. Jimmy Haycock worked with the legendary Don James out with the Washington Huskies, was on the coaching staff out there. Dick Vermeil and I, when he was working college football, we used to visit with Coach out in the Seattle area. Here is the toss, and nothing much doing. Only a yard as we check in with Jack.
Fellas, you remember we sat down with Charlie Weis. He tried to expound upon his philosophy about making adjustments. He doesn't wait till halftime, so I won't have to ask him that question at the break. He says play calling is an art and not a science, and with that in mind, he said we go off of our playbook immediately, right after we see what the opposition is going to give him. He says he continues to paint the strokes throughout the course of the game, Gary. His wife calls it going commando.
Well, he's done it in a Super Bowl. He should be able to do it in this game.
2nd down and 9, and timeout is called by the Irish. So Quinn will go over to the sideline to talk to coach. We'll take a break. Buckeyes lead it by 7. And of course all the cheerleaders and support crews, bands enjoying the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. That tells a story, folks. Notre Dame had 72 yards on its first drive and only 82 cents. The Buckeyes are averaging 9.6 yards a play. So the Irish will have to pick it up against this tough defense. Nothing doing again. Schlegel cleans it up that time as he brings Quinn to the ground. Notre Dame scored on its first possession. Schlegel and Hawk, without the great Bobby Carpenter, are getting the job done, and Notre Dame facing a 3rd and 9. Too low. Samardja has been wrapped up. 3 catches, 22 yards is all. Averaging just a tick over 7 yards a catch, and the Irish being forced to punt again. And you wonder if the frustration is mounting for Coach Charlie Weis after what seemed like a pretty routine opening drive, and not much going his way since then. And DJ Fitzpatrick on the field, and the Twins are back. Ted Ginn and Santonio Holmes standing on the Buckeye 10-yard line. Fair catch signaled by Holmes. He'll let it roll down. Tap back. That is legal. It is the football in the college game, not where it is tapped by a member of the punt team. So if it did not cross the goal line, and it does not appear to right here, snapped back, down at the 2-yard line, a 48-yard punt, and dangerous field position for Troy Smith and the Buckeyes. You look down at this gorgeous scene here in Tempe, Arizona. 1st down and 10. Smith just following Mangold right straight ahead on the 1st down. Downing and Sims, 2 guards on the other side of the center.
It has been a chess match for Jim Tressel in this football game, offensively and defensively. Last time, Notre Dame had the ball on 3rd down. Ohio State came with 3 linebackers, 4 down. They didn't even have nickel in. Now, after the punt, they've got their power against power. No one giving in, no one showing their full hand in this match.
Two tight ends, Hamby on the field at that right tight end. Pittman, not much doing. This is going to be 3rd and long as we close in on halftime, and 14-7. Smith's going to take off. Can he get the 1st down? Struggling for it. Got it easily. Landry.
And that's exactly what Charlie Weis told us is the one thing he did not want to happen. If Troy Smith is going to run the ball, let him run it on 1st and 2nd down. 3rd down scrambles are demoralizing to a football team, and it's exactly what Troy Smith did here. No pressure, no lanes, and Troy Smith picks up a 1st down.
Troy Smith, throwing and running, has more yards than the entire Notre Dame offense right now. He alone has outgained the Irish. On 1st down, going deep, got Holmes in a foot race for the end zone. Touchdown. He almost started that celebration a little too early. There is a penalty flag on the play.
He's going to get a celebration penalty going up into the end zone with his finger out. That time, he did.
This one he deserves. We had one in the Michigan game, which we weren't convinced that he deserved when he dove into the end zone. And this time he actually could have cost himself a touchdown because he could have slowed down a step as the defensive backs were closing in. But regardless, The Buckeyes have and you can see their coaches. It's a little bit of tough love down there. Great going, Santonia, but don't celebrate too early. Now this is
sportsmanlike conduct. Number 7 on the offense. That penalty will be enforced on the ensuing kickoff.
Now I wonder if he's got the wrong number or Ginn did something too.
Could have been a double, huh? But I think it was Holmes.
I do too. Teddy, I think is saying, what'd I do? I just think.
Well, I know Jim Tressel went right to Santonio Holmes and said, "You can't keep doing that to me."
Josh Houston adds the extra point. Let's take another look at Santonio Holmes and watch as he pulls away, well short of the end zone. He'll raise his finger in the celebration.
Zukowski almost got it, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
He almost got that. Here's the key. Watch Troy Smith duck his head. It's a play-action pass. Stan White Jr. comes in, and Dukeway thinks it's a run, and all of a sudden, Santonio Holmes right down the middle of the field. The ball is thrown perfectly, and Holmes almost gets in there with the ball. Here it is. Here's the safety they're playing. Comes in, and then right by him. Watch this. Great play-action pass, and Dukeway gets his nose a little bit too far inside. Wooden stalls just a little bit right there, number 22, and Santonio Holmes takes it almost to the house without being touched.
And the referee simply made a mistake on the number. It was Santonio Holmes who drew that penalty. That drive started from the 2-yard line. That is a 98-yard drive. 3 huge plays. The story of this game, the big plays for the Buckeyes. The 56-yard pass to Ginn. The 68-yard run by Ginn, and then the longest touchdown pass in Fiesta Bowl history. 85 yards to Holmes from Troy Smith.
What do you want to see out of your team in the second half?
Well, first of all, we have to play more consistently on both sides of the ball. We were sloppy on offense. We gave up too many big plays on defense. Fortunately for us, it's only a 2-score game. It could be a lot worse right now.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
21-7 as Ohio State has rocked Notre Dame. Charlie Weis and the Irish Gary Danielson have to look for a way to solve some of the riddles of the defense of the Buckeyes and also settle down defensively here.
Well, I think first of all they got to find their offense. I mean, they can't put the ball in the end zone. They've been dropping passes. Brady Quinn has been under pressure from blitzes and just a 4-man rush. So if Quinn can't throw the ball, they're just not going to catch back. Then how to stop the other team's offense, that might be a whole different problem.
Exactly, and we shall see. Remember, the Buckeyes are deferred, so they're going to receive here to start the second half, and we could be seeing number 7 or number 4. They've been the 2 big play men. In case you just joined us, the Buckeyes have struck 56 yards, 68 yards, and 85 yards, and the 85 yards was the longest touchdown pass in Fiesta Bowl history. Troy Smith to Santonio Holmes, and this is Holmes coming out. A little cracking there at the 24-yard line, and now we go to Jack Arute for our Home Depot coaching adjustments. Jack?
Well, guys, we heard from Charlie Weis saying that as far as his coaching adjustments, it was going to be all about consistency. For Jim Tressel, he was livid at halftime about the turnovers that Ohio State has committed. So his coaching adjustment, 0 turnovers in the second half. We'll have to wait and see.
Jack, I agree with Coach Tressel. You look much better with that collar stay. The coach gave him one at the start of the game. Noticed that he wasn't wearing one collar. And so for those of you who might have missed that little byplay. First down and 10 for Troy Smith, who takes off on a quarterback keeper here on the first down. You see the offensive line moving the pile. Let's take a look at our Nokia game summary, our first half statistics, and as you might imagine, Gary, everything favoring the Buckeyes.
Yeah, I think these third down conversions right here, that has been the key. I said that Notre Dame's defense had to find a way to get off the field. Now, a couple turnovers have got them off the field, but Ohio State has won that third down battle, and that is something that the Irish were really banking on to win this football game.
Smith staying in the shotgun formation. Line holds. Incomplete. The intended receiver was number 4, Santonio Holmes, and Richardson was the corner there.
That blocked field goal at the end of the half is what Notre Dame is hanging their hat on right now. Charlie Weis told Jack, we're lucky that this is just a 14-point game. Remember, Ohio State turned it over going in with a option play and then had that field goal block. Just a 14-point game keeps Notre Dame in it.
Third down coming up. Buckeyes, remember, we just showed you that. Perfect on third downs. His first catch of the game that time, and Roy Hall was the receiver, but Wooden was right there defensively, and that forces a punt.
I think Troy Smith went right past his read. This is an inside-out read. The tight end right here, Marcel Frost, comes right in the middle of the formation, and he's wide open for the first down right there. He claps his hands even right there, and that would have been an easy first down. Troy came out wide. He passed up number 1, went to number 2, and it cost him.
Trapasso's first punt, and Zivakowski, who has taken 2 back for touchdowns from the 26. Tough rascal, there's the penalty flag to the 39-yard line. So looking for something to ignite the Fighting Irish.
During the kick, illegal block in the back, number 20 on the receiving team. That penalty will be 10 yards from the end of the kick, first down.
Well, if we take a look at what went on in the first half, and you can see that what is really out of whack for the Irish.
Sure is. 7 completions, all of them to Samardja and Stovall, and no touchdowns. And these two guys have been touchdown makers all year, and nothing against the Buckeye defense.
And on first down, Walker on a slant. Stepping out right at the first down marker, Ubodi, the corner there for Ohio State. This would really turn the crowd back around if the Irish could march down and make this a 7-point game here at the start of the third quarter. Since that opening drive of the game, Notre Dame going 70-plus yards. It has been all Ohio State this year. So 7 consecutive bowl losses, and Coach Weis, he beat that drum all week long. Slant play. And to midfield is number 82, Matt Shelton. That is only the 4th receiver now to catch a pass. That's 21 yards, and maybe that will ignite this Irish attack.
Against Ubodi, Ohio State is blitzing. Perfect throw from Brady. Quinn comes inside, and now look at this. Little no huddle from Notre Dame, trying to jump start that passing offense for Notre Dame.
One score would make this a dogfight. 21-7. Brady will dive to the 45-yard line. That's a 5-yard gain for the Irish quarterback. You go back and we've talked about Notre Dame mistakes, but when you think about the Buckeyes have had 2 field goals blocked and a fumble going in.
Absolutely.
Basically, we're talking 3 turnovers where you had a potential. Let us say both field goals for 13 if they had scored. Even 3 field goals, 9 that they've left on the table down there. And hit on Stovall on a slant. And on this play, Brady Quinn showed his courage. He showed exactly why he's got such upside. He knew he was going to take a wallop, and it still was a 13-yard gain for a 1st and 10. And here comes Mr. Quinn.
Notre Dame and Charlie Weis has gone to the 3-step drop game. They're not blocking him very well. Schlegel was blitzing on that play. Ohio State has zone blitz 4 straight plays and have not got to Quinn.
Couldn't hang on that time, and Samardja has been relatively quiet as Whitner hits him as soon as he touches the ball. Empty backfield. Quinn and the Irish. Incomplete. Intended for Fasano there in the middle. He was trying to sit down. He was very well covered. 5:30 out here in the Mountain Time Zone. Gary and Jack, I'm Brad. We certainly hope you had an enjoyable New Year's weekend, and a happy New Year and a great retirement wish goes out to my old friend Dick Vermeil. Closed it out in style yesterday with the Kansas City Chiefs. They won their 10th game of the season, beating Cincinnati, and the old coach rode off in the sunset. Should wind up in the Hall of Fame. Low cut inside the 20-yard line. And he's coming back now to Matt Shelton. Shelton has got 2 big passes and working without a huddle and a little bit of a hurry up.
Watch Darius Walker. He gets A.J. Hawk, who tries to jump over him. That's what freed up Brady Quinn to throw that ball. Darius Walker sticking his face right into the All-American's knees.
Yeah, the All-American jumped his knees into him, didn't he? Got up high that time, and
short passing game.
Again, now, and it's number 82 who is leading the way. Matt Shelton was replaced in the 3-receiver package by number 11, David Grimes, but now it is Matt Shelton who has come alive here for the Irish.
And it's been all short, quick passes. You can see the adjustment. Ohio State's pressure has forced Quinn to go to the short passing game. Now, how will Ohio State adjust? Will they bring the house? Down here, they usually bring everyone.
Short drop right at the 10-yard line, and Jeff Samardja is just hit as soon as he touches the ball. No yards after a catch. As you Bodie all over the young man, who's also an outstanding baseball player at Notre Dame, a right-handed pitcher, and I'm told that someday he may have a decision to make. When you watch him work, you think a little bit about Ricky Pearl, the wide receiver who's had such a great career in the NFL, coming out of Wake Forest. He helped Coach Vermeil win a Super Bowl with the Rams and has moved on to Carolina. Samardja reminds you of Pearl, although he's a little bit taller. He's in that slot area right now. And there's the call for the running play. Walker, touchdown again. His second of the game, and we've got a ball game again. The best drive for Weis and the Irish since the opening drive of the game. The Buckeyes left them in, and finally Notre Dame is able to answer.
Watch the quick drop by Brady Quinn. You think it's a quick pass, and then he turns and hands it somewhat poorly to Darius, but gets it, makes one guy miss, Nate Sally, and he walks into the end zone.
DJ Fitzpatrick. Samardja is his holder. How about this? How about this huge miss?
Missed one against Stanford that really got him behind. And that one cost him right there. Now an 8-point game. That whole drive was featured a 3-step drop. They take it into the end zone and just pushes it wide.
We'll take a break. Come back now, and Fitzpatrick, who lost his job for a short time in that Stanford game, and now has missed an extra point that could loom very, very big. And this one out of bounds. He incurs the penalty there. This is the first time all season that Fitzpatrick has taken a kickoff out of bounds. But on the other hand, the good news is Ginn nor Holmes handled it. And so here's Smith firing to the far side, wide open on a missed tackle. And a great hustle by Zibikowski to catch Ginn. Had the angle, and Zibikowski would not yield a touchdown.
The spread formation has been the story of the game. You go out, Notre Dame is spread all over the field, pitch and catch. Now a missed tackle by Wooden forces Zibikowski, who, by the way, is a 4.45 guy himself, the only chance with the angle to catch Ted Ginn.
44 more yards for Ginn. Just outside the red zone. And there's the former boxer. He calls the defenses in that secondary for the Irish. Pittman is swallowed. Maybe even lost a little bit on the first down play. The one thing to go back on the spread that Gary talked about. It's one thing to spread the field. It's a second thing is to have a quarterback who is strong enough to be able to throw it all the way to the far sideline. And Troy Smith in this game, folks, is 14 of 20 for 297 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions. He has also run for another 63 yards. He has well over 300 yards of total offense here today. Drops in over the middle of Gonzalez. He was bobbling it. And it's picked up by the Irish. There was no whistle that it was down. Zigakowski, here he comes. The fighter is well on his way. Touchdown. And there is a flag back on the 30 now. Hold on, it's on the Buckeye 30. It was an 89-yard return. Let us sort this out. It came during the return. It was never whistled down. I thought it might be an incomplete pass when I first saw it, and the ball left Gonzalez's hands. Remember, I was behind him, and Tressel might be saying that to the alternate official on that sideline. There's a huddle down here now.
Let's take a peek. He had it. If he would have caught it cleanly and ran, he had a touchdown. Catches it, 1. Oh, he bobbles it a little. You know what?
Folks, that's an incomplete pass.
That is going to be reviewed for sure, because then he doesn't get it cleanly, and then all of a sudden the return starts. 1, 2, and then as he's bringing it in, he bobbles the football.
Is it indisputable? That is always the question for the
and of course he never had it. He never had the fumble if it is a fumble. Looked like he caught it up high. When he tried to tuck it, he lost the ball.
After review, video evidence shows that the pass was not complete. The receiver never had possession. Incomplete pass. We will have 4th down on the 23-yard line.
225.
Had the ball, tried to tuck it, didn't cleanly come down with it, and had a huge break on that long 3rd down play in return.
There was no question that the young man never had control of the ball. And I know if you're an ardent Notre Dame fan, that hurts right now as you try to climb back in the game. And Josh Houston on the field with those 2 blocked kicks. And we'll try to get one up, and they have just poured in from that left side. And we will watch and see if they have bolstered it.
Hamby missed one right here, and then the other one came power right over the big offensive line right there, the stout right side.
Got this one up. Beautiful. So 1 of 3, and it's a big one. 24-13. 472 yards of offense for the Buckeyes. 259 for the Irish. And our presentation of the Fiesta Bowl continues after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Back for the 4th quarter. And the Irish skill players over there huddled around Coach Weis, the line ready to go, and they come out right to the line of scrimmage. This is 2nd down. Just across midfield. Quick pass to Stovall, and Hawk rides him out of bounds. He would not give him the 1st down. You know, we want to talk about Jim Tressel and what he has meant to the Ohio State program, coming in and leading a lot of John Cooper's recruits to a national championship, and then his own recruits. He's come back here to a Tostitos Fiesta Bowl, co-champion of the Big Ten. He's done a wonderful job with Ohio State.
He sold Ohio State to Ohio State football players. They believe in it. They believe in it's important, and that is why they win these tight games, and they're playing with so much more passion than they were in years past. He's done a great job of that.
The man who popularized sweater vests in the state of Ohio. 3rd down and 6. Empty backfield for Quinn. Can't find anybody open. Slips the tackle. Got a corner, but he won't get the 1st down because of you-know-who. These defenders, A.J. Hawk, the ringleader, and the quarterback's sister saying, you got to go. Keep going.
Yeah, A.J. Hawk had Darius Walker right there, but as A.J. comes back in, Walker is wide open. A.J. makes the hit, but if Brady Quinn would have kept his eyes downfield, he could have just flipped it right over A.J. Hawk. Darius Walker was 15 yards in the open.
Not going to gamble at this point. Still a long way to go. Not a good punt. Here comes Ginn. Looking for daylight down at the 32. You just hold your breath if you're a Notre Dame player on the sideline or a fan. Anytime number 7 touches the ball tonight, he has been the difference in this Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. Third down. 4 wide. And Smith bounces outside on the run, throws Hall, first down and then some. Troy Smith is one of the best college quarterbacks in America. He is amazing when he bounces and on the run can throw a strike like that.
Now that ball was supposed to go to the left side that time, but the pressure in his face forced it the other way.
Now this is the Michigan game. There's the bounce. Gonzalez comes back after being forced out, and then Pittman for the game winner. 25-21 in Ann Arbor. 24-13, and Smith and the Buckeyes threatening again. Pittman is stopped by the middle, and Tressel gives his assistants, Joe Daniels and Jim Bowman, all the credit. They're upstairs in the booth. But, folks, that's the man who's in charge of this offense. And we have a soundbite on what he does when the defense is on the field. We'll let you listen to that before we shut it down here tonight. Second down. Here's Smith. And deflected. It was like a tennis player poaching, and it's Abi Amiri. Victor Abi Amiri, number 95. Outstanding football player. Fine defensive end.
That's one of those short passes that when you're a defensive end, if you can't get there, you have to get your hands up, and it's exactly what Abi Amiri did that time. Now remember, a field goal here for Ohio State makes it a 14-point game. See how Tressel calls this.
I would love to see Ryan Hamby catch a touchdown pass. Nothing against the Irish, but I go back to that Texas game when that young man dropped one. He's been injured, struggled a little bit this year. He brought the play in from Trussel's sideline. Quarterback draws what they want. Spinning short of the first down.
I think Jim Tressel looked at that score and said, if I get a three-pointer, it's 27-13. Remember, he won a national championship with defense and kicking game. He may be running the spread, but he still knows how to manage that game clock. He's a very good game management coach.
Wouldn't you want to put it ahead of 14, though?
Well, I'd take a touchdown if I could, but he's not going to risk an interception. 3 points are very important to him right now.
Well, my quarterback's got a couple of touchdown passes already.
And we got 2 turnovers, too.
And he's got no interceptions. Fourth down, this is a 26-yarder now.
More than 3.
Well, they blocked 2 field goals today. They got to get this one up. They got the last one up. He did. He's put it on 14. It's still 2 scores. Notre Dame very much alive in this football game. Wonderful view as you look down the lights here in Tempe. Arizona State University, located here. Fine facility down on the Tostitos. The last Tostitos Fiesta Bowl to be played here. It'll move out to Glendale and the Arizona Cardinals' brand new facility next year. Here with the Buckeyes up by a couple of touchdowns, Houston rockets one out of the end zone. And our FedEx, so there is Mr. Smith having, well, he's headed for a 400-yard night the way he's going here. Average yards per play, and the Irish up against power on both ends of the ball. Then they've got Stovall in the open field for a first down. Remember, they're still in this now. Lots of time. Need to work quickly. Down a couple of scores.
Ohio State that time did not bring any pressure. Brady Quinn without pressure has been able to just get that ball to the short receivers. Nothing deep though. It's unusual for this Notre Dame passing offense, not being able to go deep. Let's see if he can find something down the field deeper.
Here is Quinn. Shelton again, who's been very busy in his fourth catch of the game. And so now we talked to Jim Trussell. And Jim, what do you do when the defense is on the field?
When the defense is on the field, my attention immediately turns to the special teams. I have a flip switch that can go to the defensive coaches, but the only time I use it is when we're talking about maybe timeouts or penalty enforcement.
2nd down and 4, and he might have been bringing a little fire to the folks on the sideline as Shelton on the Buckeye sideline picks up another 1st and 10. Malcolm Jenkins, the defender there, and if the Irish and Brady Quinn can finish this off quickly, they'll have plenty of time left. The question is, can the Irish defense stop Ohio State late in this game and force us into a tie situation?
Again, Ohio State came with that stunt. Schlegel comes in and slams the guard. A.J. Hawk comes around the backside, but the ball is thrown before Hawk can get there. He comes clean, but a quick pass gets it off.
Trouble. Quinn trying to pull away is sacked at the 30 by Mike Kudla, number 57. What a wonderful story he is. There's a young man who a couple of years ago, well, they gave him the last rites in a hospital. He had a rare infection, and he has come back to be one of the best defensive linemen at Ohio State this year.
Yeah,
one of the strongest players on the team.
Not only that, his goal is to break the NFL record at the Combine for 220-pound bench press. The record's 43 reps. He's already done that in the summer. He's going for 50.
A 15-yard loss. Screen with Walker. And he gets it back to the 45, well short of the 1st and 10. Marcus Green, the Buckeye, is there.
Yeah, well short, but still now in range that you can possibly pick this up. That was a positive play for as backed up as that Notre Dame offense was.
40 points scored, 8 minutes to go. 3rd down and 12. The Irish have been unable to go long. Got a man wide open. Samardja with a 1st and 10 inside the 30 to the 26-yard line. Nate Sally, the defender, and Samardja was wide open this time.
He really was. He came down the slot and he made a little shake to the outside. You see all the open grass right there. Brady Quinn throws it right to the open grass. The screen pass on 2nd down allowed for that throw in the seam there on 3rd down.
Quinn is back, dropping it off to Walker to the 25-yard line. And here is Samardja, and he has some interesting took over this offense.
We had a long talk about what he expected out of me for the year and where he saw me fitting into the offense. And he said it was going to be a big part, and he felt that I had a lot to do with the success of this offense. So I tried to just go with that and try to not let him down basically from the beginning.
Outstanding right-handed pitcher. He'll play both. And, of course, he only goes to the baseball team on days when he pitches. And the slant that time, and very, very well defended by Dante Whitner, who was right there.
Yeah, see, Dante just knows what's coming. He does that film study. He's been there, seen it all. He anticipated the slant that time and really forced Quinn to throw that ball behind Samardja. That's the only place it could have been completed. Whitner pattered his game after Mike Doss playing that Doss position, strong safety.
Quinn much more accurate here in the second half, and got a timeout, so he'll go over and talk about it. Find out what coach wants to do. Big 3rd down coming up when you come back. This is 3rd down coming up for Notre Dame. They need 2 touchdowns. Down by 14. 7:03 to go at the Buckeye 25-yard line. Sent the back out. Goes to the end zone. Incomplete, and his intended target down there was very well covered. Walker had broken free the underneath running back, and I'm surprised that he didn't hit him for a 1st down.
Ohio State ran a nice combo in and out coverage against Notre Dame, and as Samardja went to the corner, he thought that he was not the intended receiver and just stopped on the play. I think Brady Quinn misread that and threw to the wrong guy.
Here's 4th down and 8 for Weis and the Irish. Must get inside the 17-yard line. Stovall hangs on. 1st down, Notre Dame. Sally couldn't jar it loose. It's 1st and goal.
The only reason that play worked is Brady Quinn had to get out of the pocket and then get his eyes downfield. Stovall's right here. He comes out. Ohio State does not blitz. They sit back, 4-man rush, roll up corner. Stovall knows he's not open deep, so he stops. Brady Quinn sees him and delivers the high ball. And as he let that ball go, that could have been roughing the passer and should have been roughing the passer by Quinn Pitcock.
Absolutely. You've got to protect your quarterbacks in that situation. NFL would not have hesitated. Flag would have flown. 1st and goal inside the 10. Diving, incomplete, and a penalty flag is thrown.
Yeah,
if it's against the defense, it's half the distance here from about the 8.5-yard line.
I think the ball was in the air when Samardja was jammed. Interesting whether they call pass interference or holding on the play.
Jim Tressel's defense tonight taking a page out of the New England Patriots defensive playbook, banging away at the wide receivers like they did Indianapolis.
On the defense, number 51. Penalty will be enforced at the spot of the foul at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal.
Yeah, that'll go down to the 2-yard line. Now watch, Samardja comes inside, and the ball will be in the air when he gets jammed. It's Slagle who pushes Samardja, and that's good call. That was pass interference.
Absolutely. Ball was in the air, and you can't touch him at that point, and he might have caught that ball. Now can the Irish score? We've got 6:21 left here in the 4th. And then the question about the extra point. Remember, they've missed one already tonight. Here's Walker. He's been the touchdown man, but not this time. The Buckeyes jam it. Every yard a struggle against Hawk and the Buckeye defense.
Charlie Weis looking at the clock, understanding that he has to get that ball in because he needs 2 touchdowns, brings back in his spread look.
Grimes checks in. Walker is out of the game. 2nd down and goal. Under pressure, incomplete. Didn't have a chance because boring in David Patterson coming off the line at the Irish quarterback. And watch Bobby Carpenter, unable to play tonight. Broke his ankle on the 1st defensive play of the game against Michigan, but right in the heart of things down there. The senior, last time he'll suit up for Ohio State. His daddy played in the NFL, Rob Carpenter. He's here in attendance tonight.
3 tight end in look right here. Remember, they went wide side the other way last time. Will they run the tight end?
They're going to toss in that direction to Walker. Walker barges for the end zone. No signal yet. Just short. 4th down and goal. It has come to this for the Irish.
And it also takes valuable time off that clock again. Remember, last time they went wide. This time they toss it. Looks like Walker's going to be able to get in. Kudla turns it back in, and then back into those linebackers. The ball.
A.J. Hawk
Very
makes
close.
an unbelievable play.
He was
A.J.
low.
Hawk dove in low on that replay.
Yes, he was. The question, did that ball break the plane? They're going to get a
We're gonna
review
take
of
a
it.
look at it.
Yep, they are.
Replay wants to take a look at this. Gary, did you think it broke the plane?
At first glance, I couldn't tell. I could see it close enough that they would go to replay. Looks like we're right down the line here. We're looking at it. Hawk low, stops him. The ball is ripped a bit, and then that angle. Boy, that looks, from this angle, looks like it's touching that plane to me.
So they must decide that it's
After
indisputable.
review,
Hold
video
on.
evidence shows that the ball carrier put the ball out over the goal line. Therefore, we have a touchdown.
Wow. So 27-19. And the Irish fans are celebrating. He'll say go for one, and why not? Buckeyes have left them right in the thick of this. Now Fitzpatrick, and it's critical. And he drills that one right down the heart of South Bend. Hang on, folks. Ball is on the tee. 7 and 4 back deep. You know who that is. And this is 4. Holmes drops it at the 1 and picks it up. Down at the 15-yard line, where it'll be first down now. So Zibikowski and the Irish defenders have to hold, because Troy Smith has thrown for 317 yards, and he's run for another 69.
And Jim Tressel is going to open with the fullback, not the spread.
Going to try to work the clock with Pittman. It'll be second down and long. Talley and Zibikowski.
See, here's the problem when you run the spread all game and you're wide open with reverses and comebacks and long passes when you need to milk the cow clock. Now, does the spread, do you have confidence? Do you believe in it? And will you call the same type of plays? That's the challenge.
Smith is 17 of 25 for the evening. Smith had lots of time and deflected incomplete. Coming up, of course, the Built Ford Tough postgame and Nokia Sugar Bowl pregame prior to the Georgia-West Virginia game.
Remember, both of these quarterbacks in their last game, Troy Smith against Michigan, Brady Quinn against Stanford, brought their team back to win a football game. So both defensive coordinators know that the other quarterback can take it the distance against them.
Third down doesn't get much bigger than this. Base 4-3 for the Irish. Smith to throw out of it on the swing. As he got the first down, he does. On third and long, they swing it to Pittman for a Buckeye first down. Troy Smith is some maturing quarterback.
You know what you like about this throw is he didn't guide it. He saw a wide open Pittman. He comes on the option to fake the option, and Pittman runs a little bit of a wheel route to the outside. And as he sees him crowded downfield, he throws a strike to him right in stride and allows Pittman to dive across for the first down. A lot of times you get a guy that open like basketball, you just can't make that throw or shot. He delivered it.
He sure did. First and 10. Irish send some linebackers this time. And Pittman struggles for a yard plus. Second down and long now for the Buckeyes. They lead it by 7. Troy wants to run, and he's going nowhere.
Yeah.
They couldn't open a hole, and number 66, Derek Landry, the fine defensive tackle, makes the stop. And so
That's what you got to do.
Here we go again. 3rd down and long, and this one about 3rd and 11.
You got to hand it to Derek Landry. Hasn't made a lot of plays inside, but as a nose tackle type guy, you got to just keep working and working and working, and maybe in the 4th quarter you make that play that makes a difference. That was a quarterback draw, and he refused to be blocked.
Buckeyes need to go to a 37-yard line for a 1st down. They need a good 11 yards. In trouble, dances away. Here comes the dangerous Troy Smith. Fires, did he get it again? He did.
My, oh my.
The wizard, Troy Smith, has come up with another one.
He should have been sacked. Michigan is saying, I see you, I hear your pain, Notre Dame. The same thing happened to us. Nobody open, nobody there. Should have been sacked right there. He turns it around, then keeps his eyes downfield, finds who else? Anthony Gonzalez again for a huge 1st down.
And what a play by number 11. He was in the middle of the field, stacked up with the linebackers when he saw what Smith was going to do. He ad-libbed to the outside, and Troy Smith found him beautifully.
How can you keep your calm eyes downfield when you make one of those spins like that? That's amazing by Troy Smith.
Now the Irish must stop. They have a corner blitz, and the Bucks run right to it. Daylight, end zone ahead. Pittman, touchdown, game over. 60 yards. The Buckeyes strike with the big plays, 4 of them. And they will go home again with the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl trophy. It'll be their 3rd win here. One of them, of course, resulting in a national championship in an overtime win over Miami, a 2nd over Kansas State, and now here tonight against Notre Dame. 1:46 to go, and now the point that will put this on 54.
It's one of the best clutch plays I've seen by a quarterback in a long time. On 3rd and long, Troy Smith saved Ohio State, and then running behind Stan White, the offensive line, Ryan Hamby, and Dadish gets a good block, number 50, and Antonio Pittman, who waited until the 8th game to score, does it again.
The Buckeyes are bringing it home to Columbus again.
1 year ago, when the Ohio State Buckeyes went to their bowl game, that man, Troy Smith, had to stay home for violating NCAA rules and taking money from a booster. All year he thought about it, tried to win back the admiration of his team. He told us before the game, guys, that this was going to be redemption day. Looks like it has.
Absolutely, Jack. And Troy Smith, the orchestrator of a big play offense today. 4 Buckeye touchdowns, longer than 55 yards. An amazing performance here. Big play Buckeye night in Tempe. Well, the thing that everybody should leave with if you're a Notre Dame fan is what a wonderful year this was, regardless of what happened here tonight. I know it will stretch that bowl losing streak to 8, and I know that disappointment, sadness at not winning, but Charlie Weis and that coaching staff took the first step back. They've already recruited an outstanding class. Brady, Quinn hits Walker, and Whitner is there. That's short of a 1st down with a minute and a half now left here in the desert. And for Jim Tressel and the Buckeyes, when those summer polls come out in the early preseason magazines, Troy Smith has just elevated himself into Heisman Trophy candidacy for next year.
Absolutely.
And the Buckeyes could be the number 1 or 2 ranked team. We'll see what happens the next few BCS games. They're going to be very, very highly rated as we check back on this game plan. They did indeed spread for speed.
And that's exactly what it was. By Ohio State moving that ball all over the field from the spread formation, Notre Dame was not able to handle it. And you know, the deep ball, Notre Dame has made a living on the deep ball. Stovall and Samardja do not catch a touchdown pass in the game.
Stops the clock momentarily on the first down with 40 seconds to go. You go back to that last drive. Pittman's 60-yard touchdown run, of course, buried the Irish. But Troy Smith faced a 3rd and 9 and a 3rd and 11 prior to that touchdown, and he converted both for Coach Jim Trussell. And there he is down there in his sweater vest. Now look who's going to get the bath, and Carpenter's going to help deliver it.
Mr. Straightlace himself. He noticed Jack's collar, and he's going to get a Gatorade.
Can they get him?
Oh, they got him.
They got him. But you had to hold him up, Gary.
Yeah, Rob
to
Sims
get him.
had him.
Let me tell you. Whoa. Oh, mercy. Big hug there with Troy Smith. Bobby Carpenter, I know he's terribly disappointed about not playing tonight. He'll get a chance to play Sunday football next year. Just a fine story. Notre Dame faces another one of those tough schedules next year, but they're going to be exciting. Their television ratings over on NBC way up, I noticed, this season. Sellout crowds in South Bend, and so Notre Dame enjoyed a great season, even though they're going to lose here tonight to the Buckeyes.
Well, covered it pretty good, but nothing prettier than this last touchdown, Brent. 5 great blocks. Mangold, Sims, Dadish, White, and then watch the big play guys downfield. The left side, everybody gets their block, and then watch this. Number 4, Santonio Holmes, he just doesn't catch passes, and number 7, right there, Ted Ginn, gets his block. How about that? Finish off a football game like that. That is beautiful.
I've got about 415, somewhere around there, for Troy Smith here tonight, and maybe a little bit less than that, maybe just right over 400 yards. Passing and running tonight. Troy Smith, the player of the match, no question about that. And Brady Quinn being sacked again the 5th time. Mike Kudla in his last game for the Buckeyes, and now Jim Trussell wanting the clock to tick away. He'll go out and congratulate Charlie the season he's had. Charlie stands over there like he just wants another series. Ohio State. Man, the desert should bring the Buckeyes down here more often. They'd have a winning team. They own this place. So the celebration. The 3rd Fiesta Bowl win in 4 years. Let's go down to Jackaroo, Jack.
Well, Coach, you gave me a collar stay here. You got all wet before the game. I'm going to give you a towel. What was the difference in that second half for your team?
You know, it was a battle. You know, Notre Dame does a great job. They play hard. They got great kids. And, you know, we just kept fighting and kept fighting. The guys making plays. And so proud of this senior class. They've won a lot of games and done some special things.
I know Troy Smith said before the game that he wanted to make this a redemption game for the mistakes he made in missing last year's bowl. Has he redeemed himself?
Well, he redeemed himself a long time ago with me. He's a special kid. I love him. And he's my guy. So he did plenty of redemption.
Troy Smith, congratulations. Redemption time. Tell me a little bit about your game tonight. What was the difference?
Oh, man, just sending the seniors out with a win. That's what every person on the team set out to do today. You know, again, I want to give thanks to God, because without him, none of this is possible. But sending the seniors out with a win today, that was our main focus.
Congratulations, man.
Thanks, baby. Thanks.
So Troy Smith and the Buckeyes win it 34-20 over the Fighting Irish. And a reminder, coming up next on ABC, the Nokia Sugar Bowl. It's Georgia, West Virginia. So long, everybody, from the desert.